Great, great. Thanks, Tony, and I do appreciate the opportunity to chat with you all there in the room for a brief time here. So we're actually joining your room to my room via what we call virtual rooms, and when we get through some material, I'm going to be bringing on board. Actually, you can see Kevin Hutler is in the room, and Kevin is our lead architect and one of our par excellent software engineers. A lot of what you're experiencing here in this product, Kevin has had his hands on. So the intent was to just give you an overview of some of the products and solutions that we have built using Qt, and hopefully open it up for you all to be able to ask some questions if you see something of interest in here, or you would like to talk about something that you're working on as it might relate to what we've done here. Hopefully you're trying to make it a little bit more interactive. So I only have enough slideware here to cover maybe 10, 15 minutes, and was hoping then we can get Kevin. We'll bring him on with a camera. Now, Kevin is in Hawaii, and I'm in Sacramento, California, and so we are, in essence, coming to you live virtually. We use this product to develop our product and a number of other products that we do. So anyway, I want to show you a little bit about the architecture and the utilization of virtual rooms, and we'll just see, hopefully, if we can make this a little bit interactive. So virtual rooms, let me tell you a little bit about it. We've actually been doing this for, let's see, over close to 11 years now. So our first version of HP Virtual Rooms was done in Java back in 1998. We actually introduced it as a commercial product in December of '99, and it was based on the Placeware platform. So Placeware at that point was all written in Java, and we basically started working with Placeware, and we put together our version of the HP. It was called the Virtual Classroom back then, and it was written on top of the Placeware platform, and we went out to market with it. Subsequently, Placeware was purchased by Microsoft about 5 years ago, and at that point we basically moved on to our own architecture that is represented here in this slide. And if I pick up the laser here, it's really all 64-bit memory mapped on the servers. It supports the multimedia. We have things that you can read through here. I don't mean to go through all of these. We obviously get through firewalls securely with 256-bit AES SSL encryption. So everything we do in virtual rooms is in band. So all the audio, we have voice over IP with SIP integration through to phone bridges and calling, but we all do, everything we do in virtual rooms is fully encrypted and secure in band on our protocol. So it runs over TCP/IP, or even what we'll be talking about is I'll be showing you another product, My Room. Has a little different look and feel as peer-to-peer, but it's all over TCP/IP or UDP, but fully encrypted in band, supporting all the things that you would think from a multimedia standpoint. The thing we have is persistent content. So there's a lot of great products out there, and ours has this capability to have persistent content. So I actually worked on my slides and loaded them up last night. I've got some snapshots from weeks back, and they all stay in the room. So this morning I just got into the room, and all my content is there. I opened this slide deck, and that's the presentation I'm giving now. More recently, we've added what's called push-button recording, so you can press a button, record everything that happens in the room, all the slideware, all the annotations, your application sharing, your audio, your video, the whole thing, and then you get back a link and you can play it back. So it's just what you would expect in a collaborative multimedia application. Now, some of the utilization that we have, we're growing at about 10 million minutes a month. So right now we're at 325 million user minutes per month. If you do some calculations on that, it's over 450 hours of 450 years of collaboration in 1 month. So it's used very extensively inside HP and we're seeing rapid growth in the commercial area now as folks are starting to learn about virtual rooms. It's not been as advertised or as well promoted as some of the other tools that you're probably more well with, WebEx or Live Meeting or GoToMeeting. There's a number of them, but like I say, we're going about 10 million minutes in utilization a month. It's kind of geared. We do about 35,000 peak users, over the course of any hour. But again, that's growing up a couple of thousand as we go through each month. And it's kind of on a growth curve as more and more people are using the tool. We added a free 60-day user trial, and that's kind of getting people to check it out. These are we scale on the server side, which is where we scale is we have a management server, a portal, but we have event servers that really handle. So right now we're on an event server with 3 people in the room. We can go upwards of 1,000 people in an event, but that's how we get to our scalability is we just add additional blade servers in the rack, and each blade server can support upwards of 4,000 or 5,000 users. So that's how we scale. One of the things that I wanted to mention, getting now more into the Qt side of it, is what we've done. We've obviously got our portal, all .NET infrastructure. We've got our server infrastructure. But where we build our clients is obviously using Qt. And this application that you're seeing here has all been done in Qt. And what we've done in order to be able to build clients as we get different demands for different usability or different client experiences, we've come up with a construct that we call the vClient. The vClient is this abstraction layer that separates the GUI design and the functionality from interacting backwards through APIs to the framework. And that's exactly what we've done. And I've got another slide that'll show a few of the applications that we've built, but one certainly is that you're seeing here is virtual rooms. So we've been very, very pleased with Qt. We've been using it for probably 6 years, and it has given us the ability to have native clients. As you're probably all aware, if you're at Qt Developer Days, you're probably very well the benefits. But for us, it's given us a native client on Windows, as we're using here today, but also on Mac and Linux. And we're now moving the functionality that you're seeing here out to mobile devices. WebOS is the Palm operating system that HP purchased, and working on that. We've also got a version here. I've got the N900, so the ability to get our code, the functionality, multimedia functionality, out to the N900. The N8 is on the horizon here, and getting hooked up with Tony and Nokia on the N. I guess it's the N8 Tony there. That's got some very cool features. So we're working on the mobile OSs now and extending this out to that. Also within HP, there's a number of actually more interest now than we can handle to be able to build custom interfaces. And there's a coin that Gartner Group coined. It's called Collaboration-Enabled Businesses Processes, CEBP. And that's a construct where folks are now wanting to take their more standard business applications or processes and interject data into a collaborative experience. So because we have the platform, and moving on to the next slide, and the vClient construct that I've mentioned, it gives us this ability to build applications to a particular specification a little bit more quickly based on what I've already explained. So right now we're in virtual rooms here. I'm going to show you a new client, peer-to-peer, that we just put out there, and it's called My Room. We have a support room built on this exact same architecture through vClient. Support room is a very lightweight 700K download that lets support engineers take remote control of desktops. And then I've mentioned the mobile collaboration. So these are a number of the user interfaces that we've already built, but because we've got the platform, the server infrastructure, we've got the vClient abstraction layer, and then we have Qt, and there's we're starting to build a number of additional client experiences on top of this architecture, this platform. So what we do in a nutshell here then is we provide end-to-end secure connectability between devices, be they desktops or mobile, on 3G, Wi-Fi, connecting them together. So that's kind of what's going on there. So one thing I wanted to show you next is a newer user interface. It's called My Room, and it kind of looks like this. It has a different look and feel. It's very simple. You basically go to a portal with an email address. You can download this right now. It's a free client. It's basically designed on peer-to-peer, and I'll actually show you a slide of the Qt architecture, the different Qt modules that we've used or functions to put this together. But it's a very lightweight, easy to use. So basically, with your email address, you get in a sign up. Then you can start adding your buddies with emails, and once you do, you can go in and join a meeting. This was a pretty boring meeting last night because you can see I was connecting Gary to Gary Gmail, but this gives you an idea of what the interface is. So you can do the two-way video up to 640 by 480. It has a chat, and then what is in the middle here is with this icon here, you can do app sharing. So I can app share. One way I was app sharing from the Gary to Gary Gmail, showing a little bit of live feed from CNN last night when the miners were coming out. And so this has two-way app sharing, audio, video, and chat, and it's a very simple tool, peer-to-peer. So the beauty of it is we use our servers to connect people through our management server, but once connected and then once people decide to meet with somebody, it's all peer-to-peer, so it doesn't go through our server, so it scales very nicely. So one other thing I was going to show you that was done with some of the Qt in the UI is we have obviously a settings dialog, and this was a nice audio meter graphic, analog meter graphic that Kevin did to kind of show, so it allows people to actually see when they're talking and set some levels. So I just wanted to show you that. So moving now to a slide, this is kind of how the client was put together, and Kevin will be able to talk about this. This is probably more germane to why you're there at the DevDays, being a little bit more technical into the workings. But this is how Kevin put this together. A pretty simple model, but this does use some of the newer features, and I believe we're now, if I'm not wrong, we're up on 4.7. When this slide was done, I think we were using a prior version. But this is kind of what's going on, and we can take questions about any and all of this. One thing I was going to show you that's kind of fun is this is a picture here back of virtual rooms. We've really designed this to have a variable dynamic kind of encoding capability and decoding. So whether it's peer-to-peer, which I just showed you in my room, or whether in virtual rooms, we basically have a dynamic encoding that, whether it be app sharing or video, which is what we're doing here and actually showing on the slide, the clients interact with the servers, and depending on the client's speed connected to the network, we will dynamically scale the video to each of the individual users. So your video experience will be as good as your client connection is. So, we've run this up to, 15, 20 different videos, and the more you add, hopefully you go with smaller sizes, but the more videos you add, basically the experience as it's reflected through our servers will respond accordingly. So a lot of the interest in the industry is in the ability to efficiently send audio and video and app sharing to endpoints of the world. We can take a broadband and run this all up to high definition video, or we can work over a dial-up modem. As you go into the mobile devices, 3G, 4G coming, you have to scale not only your user interface, but you have to be realistic with the connectability and the bandwidth. So anyway, that's the formal side of the presentation that I had. We can certainly show you a lot more about the products it wasn't the intent as much to tout the product. There's a lot of products out there that are excellent. Ours is, we feel, certainly one of them. It was more to talk about our use of Qt in developing these interfaces. So what I'm going to do now is get Tony involved here and Kathy to help us maybe take some questions, get some dialogue going. I'm also going to ask Kevin basically can come on board now with his camera out of Hawaii, and we can certainly take any questions that you have. There's Kevin from Hawaii, and if they go much more beyond the layer that I've presented, we're going to defer to Kevin. So Tony, if you're there, maybe we can see if there's questions from the audience. Yeah. No, well, those change. Yeah, I'll give you a new quick key. So what I'm going to give Tony is a quick key that lets him get back into the room very easily. It's 24515. Right. So I've basically just have this concept called a quick. I click a button, it gives me a 5-digit number, change every 5 minutes, kind of a combination between security and convenience. And that way, you go to our portal, you type in your name and the quick, and it'll back. So I can see your back, Tony. So let me give you the video again. I'm clicking a button here, and on Qt developers saying video, and it'll add a video capability icon there. And Tony, if you guys want to start back up the video of the audience, you can. It might be. If you want to bump the size or maybe on that just a little bit, we'll be able to a little more of the audience. There you go. On your video, there's that little arrow to the upper right there. Right. So, right now, basically, virtual rooms is kind of a proprietary protocol, and I know proprietary is sometimes a bad term. Like I say, everything we do is in-band, fully secure through firewalls. So when you get into a virtual room, you pretty much are contained within that environment and don't have to have a lot of other capabilities. If you get in the room, have our full capabilities. Now, we are using a codec that is out of HP Labs, and it's actually called Blade. Blade is a codec invented in HP Labs, and it actually gives us a very high quality at a very efficient bandwidth. So, for example, MPEG-4 will give you on a 32240. We actually have written a white paper on this. MPEG-4 at that quality level. I think it was the examples were done at 320 by 240. We're about 300 kbits plus for a video stream. What we're achieving here, we're not at 320, we're at 320 by 180. We can basically get the same, a little better quality for about 130 or 40 kbits per second on the wire. So that in combination with what Kevin's done on the server side, we get a higher quality throughput on our application sharing, which uses that encoding and decoding in our video. So to answer the question finally, is because we use that implementation, don't interoperate at this point with other, conferencing systems. Now, we can certainly, and we've architected this to be able to, instead of Blade, we could use an H.264, we could use a pure MPEG, and simply have a gateway that would allow for the interoperability of the video and audio. But at this point, because of the performance we get, and not having to pay any royalties for any other codecs, we use this kind of HP virtual rooms or virtual rooms technology to wrap it all up and send it. Interoperability certainly can be achieved, and we're working with the Halo team. But when we go to that, we'll probably be swapping out some of the efficiency we get here for interoperability. So it's always that bit of standards versus what you can do now at what quality level. So I'm sure a lot of the folks in the room maybe make those trade-offs all the time. So that's kind of what's going on with how virtual rooms works, working with Halo going forward, and the ability through gateways to interoperate with other tools. Yeah. Let me make one comment, but I'm going to throw this right to Kevin on the technical side because he can speak to what we've saved engineering-wise and the benefits of Qt. In terms of using this tool inside HP and with our customers, I mean, it's hands down, cost savings, efficiency. In fact, our team, in terms of all the developers and management, we use this tool daily, interactively, do code reviews and so on, and to meet virtually, and we use the tool to design the tool and other tools. But Pan HP, and for our customers, there's tons of success stories on our web page. But I'd really like to now just turn to Kevin more from a technical standpoint of what Qt has allowed us to do in developing. So Kevin, why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Qt has been great for us. Before it came along, we're a cross-platform app, so we had to go develop our own cross-platform library on Linux and Mac and Windows and several different flavors of Linux. And it's been quite a development effort just trying to maintain that library so we can build apps on top of it. Then we found Qt, and the amount of code that we have to manage has gone down dramatically. We use Qt for everything now. The tool that we're in right now, VRoom, is all Qt for the most part, except for the piece V client, which is the layer that allows you to write other apps on top of it. Moving into My Room, that is also has gone towards Qt. We're now relying on Qt for its threads and sockets and its integration with SSL and its mutable objects. It has everything in it. So, to say how much it's helped us, it's probably tremendous savings. So that's about it.
Yeah, and if you have any other follow-up questions on any of that, in terms of what the team can crank out, we have a very small team. I feel it's world-class. Well, I know it's world-class, but the small team has tremendous productivity. Number one, it's good to be the best, and then number two, it's good to find the best technologies like Qt to be able to develop once and have it extend out to multi-platform. So it's not so much it's a commercial for Qt, but we're maybe it is a commercial, but we're solid believers, as evidenced by this product and the other products that we have, the My Room, and what we're being asked to now be built for Hewlett-Packard and for other customers. So
yeah, and it has given us more time to go look at other devices. So here's My Room. I can't see it that good on there. My Room running on a HP Slate device. So giving us time to go develop other things.
Yeah, exactly. And so, new devices coming out and getting it running there, extending it to the mobile. We're really excited about the mobile space and the N900 that I showed you, and the new, what is it, Tony, the N8 or something, so on the Migo. So our code basically just, moving it over to that compilation environment and getting this functionality extended out to those devices. I got a number of engineers just really excited, to be moving into that mobile space. So we're real anxious to get our hands on some of the newer Nokia devices. No. Yeah. Yeah, let me make one comment, and then I'm going to quickly show it to Kevin. Send it to Kevin. It's for us. It's the multimedia layers on these devices. Okay, so getting in and doing the app sharing and all that is sending bits. But when you need to interface at the audio video layer, and that's even germane to Mac and Linux. Now we go to all these different mobile devices. They probably have certain different. Well, they do have different implementations on that layer. So if we could have an abstraction layer that could, help us out on the multimedia audio and video, just raw capture of video, send it back, raw capture of audio, and both ways. I think that would be fabulous. Also, the WebKit stuff I should have mentioned back even on the main platforms. But Kevin, any more on the mobile side on multimedia to add to that, or did I get it right? Or
Yeah, no, I think you nailed it. It's exactly that, the multimedia stuff. Grabbing it over there. Yep.
We love relying on Qt, for those base level things. Not to say they're base, but they're very important and substantial. But then it allows us to focus on the user experience and to meet more demands more quickly. But certainly, I think that would answers the question that we're seeing right now in that the need for that generic. Even-handed treatment of the multimedia. Yes, I appreciate it. We appreciate it, Kevin and I, and it was our pleasure to be able to drop in. And I guess it's good that my glasses are on. You can't really even see if my eyes are open. But anyway, yeah, we do appreciate it, and we hope we've been able to share a little bit with you what we've been able to develop with Qt and the value that it's provided to Hewlett Packard and particularly our engineering team. Thanks so much.